Hello everyone, my name's Stefan Botanist Cool. Today we're doing some more painting of PrideCom, specifically my transgender pride themed Battletech lance that is actually going to be going out as a gift, or rather as a win for a for a charity commission we did a little while ago. These guys are at various levels of being done, and my goal today is to finish some enough to seal them so they don't get more damage. Like, as an example, I never sealed this guy, and some paint is chipping off here and there, so we're gonna do some minor repairs. That way we could get it going. And then we're going to, and also you can't see the highlighting as well as you used to be able to, because it's been a little while. These guys, the highlighting's still pretty strong, because I only did these like a week or two ago. So I'm gonna do minor repairs, same thing here, and then I want to get these guys going too. So we're gonna work on these guys for repairs real quick. Then we're gonna go further on and all that kind of stuff. Killer, Copper, I hope you're having a wonderful day. If you guys haven't already, and you haven't followed either of those two, go do that. They are both wonderful people. Killer has some lovely stuff that he works on, including art, and works with a lot of like collab streams with Sleepy. And Doodle was doing the Outer Worlds before, which I was told not to spoil myself on, so I couldn't like actually watch it, but I heard it's a great game. Or we're thinking Outer Wilds. I don't know, but they both sound so similar that I'm not risking it. It's one of those, right? Yeah, so it's hard to see without my magnifying glass. Like, there's areas here that I want to fix. So I'm gonna get Corax white out because it's not the pure white. We're gonna fix those. I want to seal this today, essentially. I want to go outside after the stream. I want to seal everything. And I want to never touch them again. Except for when so what I'm planning on actually doing, this is going to be a test. And I don't know how it's going to turn out. But I'm actually going to take these guys eventually. I'm going to try to, like, cut them off the base. So I could do the base as its own thing. So I want to basically just get this done today so I can start working to cut them off little by little. Like, from what I was told, you just basically put it on the ground, slide it under, and you slowly get it going like that. Which, that one will take a lot of time because it's firmly on there. But, like, I know, like, this one has, like, an area right here you can basically just cut off. You gotta go nice and slowly on them and get them off. So I want to do that for them eventually so I could get a base on them that looks really cool. But yeah. Figurine surgery, essentially. A little bit of figurine surgery. Actually, Corax white fits almost perfectly with this one. Basically, I want to finish these guys. And I'm very close to finishing 3 of them. I just want to make sure they're finished and they look good and not just finished to finish them, you know what I'm saying? I sent them to the person who won them recently and he seemed to like it, so like I'm happy with that, but at the same time there's a little bit of pride I have in myself of like, I'm gonna make sure I send out something really good. Or I would send out something that is my personal best. That's what I'm looking to do. And I already learned so much about using white as an example during doing all these trans pride minis. So many of them have like a white color to them. Like, I know I'm going to be able to do in the future better whites than I'm doing on this mini, but I'm still going to do my best on it. Okay? Okay. Come here. I also got like a thing in my throat yesterday. You know when it's like you feel like you have a little kernel in your throat? That happened to me yesterday and still not gone yet. So I'm gonna be doing a little like ahems a lot. So my apologies on that. I had that happen at work, yeah. I was eating some boiled peanuts yesterday. And I think I got like a peanut lodged in weird, basically. Oh boy, so I've been making boiled peanuts recently. I just leave them to boil in the slow cooker for 10 hours, and it's the best. It's the fucking best, dude. Fucking love it. It's that season though for like boiled peanuts. What it is. Yeah, boiled peanuts are so good. I have such a hard time describing the texture to people who are like, what does it feel like? And I'm like, I guess it almost feels like, to a degree, like a potato, like a really good cooked potato. But at the same time, it's not quite right, you know what I'm saying? It feels like fucking boiled peanuts. They have its own taste, but like, it's kind of potato-y a little bit. But I honestly do not know what to say for that. Yeah, I think the texture's a little potato-y. But yeah, it's boiled peanut season. I buy a couple of pounds of peanuts and I boil them. Good shit. A little bit of salt, you add it slowly over time. God, I want more boiled peanuts. Even if I'd cook them now, I'd have to wait 10 hours. Like, I've cooked them for 8 hours. Not as good texturally. Texturally. They need 10 hours at least in a slow cooker. That has been my experience. Like, I have done 8 hours, I've done less, I've done higher temperatures at less times. All you need is low temperature, 10 hours, and those boiled peanuts will be the fucking bomb, dude. There's your secret. And add salt over time. Don't add a lot of salt at once. Do like a little sprinkle of salt here and there. And just taste them as time goes on, because it's still good, even if they're hard later on. But you'll get an idea for just how much salt you want, and you just add it over time. Some days you want a little more salt, some days you want a little less salt. So, like, have fun with that. But don't do it all at one time. Do not add all the salt at one time. Because you could always add more salt to make it better, but you can't take away more salt to make it better, if that makes sense, right? And sometimes salt can be really quickly overbearing when it comes to boiled peanuts. I actually made a set of boiled peanuts the first time, and I used about half the peanuts I had. And I ended up wasting about a pound of peanuts because it was just too salty to actually enjoy. And I'm like, fuck, I really screwed that up. So instead what I did was I took the slow cooker, and I took like a plastic cup, like one I would drink out of. I took 1 cup of that, of peanuts, and I just put it in the slow cooker. And then I put water around it and a little bit of salt. And I just added salt very slowly over the next 10 hours, and it ended up being the best fucking thing. So 1, if you're gonna make boiled peanuts, 2 tips. 1, cook only 1 portion at a time, even if it takes 10 fucking hours. And 2, do not add all the salt in the beginning. Slowly add salt as time goes on. It's 10 hours of cooking. You're going to be there for a while anyways. Just do it the nice and slow way, because otherwise you're gonna like throw away peanuts that are way too salty and way too disgusting for you. So it's not worth it. It's so much more worth it doing it the slow way. In my opinion. And I am correct. My opinion is the correct opinion. I don't want to cook for 10 hours, like a whole shift. So here's the thing. You put it in the slow cooker. You go play video games for 4 hours. You come back, you taste it. You put a little bit of salt in there. You come back 4 hours later. You do the same thing again. It's like 30 minutes of active cooking and 10 hours of cooking on the fucking slow cooker. Or go to your like local convenience store, see if they have it. It's still good. It's still worth like $3 a fucking cup for sure. Back when I lived in Daytona, there was a convenience store that had it, and it was so good. So I stopped by like weekly at least, almost daily sometimes. It was great. I think I bought a lotto ticket from that store once too, just so I was like, you know what, let's have a little bit of fun. Nothing ever came of it, obviously. If you don't have a slow cooker, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't know if you want to use a pot, because like the pot's gonna fucking salt up like no goddamn tomorrow. Yeah. It's so worth the 10 hours for a good bowl of peanuts, honestly. I have a slow cooker, but it's small and cute. Yeah, so perfect. Do one fucking cup at a time, baby. You got this. Also, I want to say I got this game recently called RV There Yet. It's so fucking fun. I love it. It's so funny. It's so charming, I think is the best word for it. A very charming game. It's my folks during their RV days. Yeah. Oh, it was your folks. Oh, your folks are. Oh, gotcha. Okay, we just started talking about RVs hilarious at the same time in two different contexts. I was like, wait. Okay, yeah. Fair enough. But it's a nice little. Slow cookers are great. I love slow cookers. But yeah. So I ended up getting RV There Yet, and I played with some friends recently. Hi, Killer, and we had such a blast. It was such a silly and charming game. Like honestly, it's such a great game. I love it. It's one of those where it's like. First and foremost, I'm loving all the, like the nature-themed co-op games coming out, right? Like Peak is nature-themed, in my opinion. You have RV There Yet and a few others like that that are just like hey, here's like a hiking or a nature wild preserve kind of thing. Even though like in RV There Yet, you just throw your used beer cans on the ground, which you don't do, please, in real life. But, and you smoke a lot. It gives you speed buffs. But it's a lot of fun. It's very dad energy. Dad and like a park energy, and I love that so much. Can't wait for the game Big Walk to come out. I need to play one of Girls. What's Big Walk about? Never heard of it. Send me it in a DM so I can see what it's like in the future. Big Walk. Do a big step. Let me get a little bit of lead belcher out, and I'm gonna do that real quick. Hold on. I got you. You love it? Hell yeah, brother. Sorry, hell yeah, lover. Excuse me. I need to do it correctly. No one tell anyone that Killer is my secret lover, please. That's an embarrassing secret. Not embarrassing. That's the wrong word. I need to get more lead belcher. Holy shit! All right. And all your minis, Drake. I wish I could give you my minis, bud. I am flattered you would even take my minis. They are not the prettiest, but I do my best. How you doing today, Drake? I actually need more fucking lead belcher. Look at this shit. Lead belcher's almost out. I'm gonna need to go to the Warhammer. Well, like, to be fair, the free mini of the month is coming out in like 2 weeks, so maybe I'll just get lead belcher when I'm there. Or I'll find a army painter equivalent of lead belcher. But I mean, to be fair, lead belcher is so fucking good. I absolutely love lead belcher as a color. Great color, great color. God, I want a burger now. Fuck. Vallejo chainmail. That stuff's pretty consistently and not like water, but perfectly thin. Nice. Okay. Look at Vallejo. I know Vallejo is a very loved brand, and it is much more affordable for sure, is what I've heard. But yeah. Oh, I see what this is. This is where the paint came off. You know what? We're gonna make that lead belcher. I like that actually. Look. I think I'll put them on my throat. One of those things I gotta do a little slowly because I can't go miscellaneously spending my money at the moment. I'm not in that kind of financial situation. One day though. I also need to that's also one of the reasons why I'm kind of streamlining my painting a little bit more by project rather than just bouncing around, because I don't want to waste paint by chipping and redoing it again and again and again. I don't have the money to keep buying paint. So actually, fun little thing I want to do, right? So I'm actually going to strip all my old salamanders and repaint them. I have a new plan for them. I did like 10 salamanders earlier, but I never sealed them, so I'm gonna strip them all. And I'm gonna repaint them. A different plan. I'm gonna use instead of washing, what I want to try to do is I want to try to utilize glazers, because washing has been very unsatisfying unless it's been Tyranids for whatever reason. What I plan on doing is I plan on using this troll skin color and green skin to do my depth for my salamanders. So troll skin is going to be the glaze that does the shadows, almost like pin washing, while green skin is going to be the color I use primarily for the actual salamander model. So I'm going to do these two colors as a focus, and then I'm going to use potentially Urok Flesh as a highlighting color. That's what my plan is. Or actually, I did recently get Army Green too, but I think Army Green isn't the right color for salamanders for the highlight, so I don't think I'm gonna use that. This I'm gonna use actually for a project. I have two more. I have, what was it that everyone voted on? Give me a second, I'm pulling up my Discord. And I got a DM from Killer. Oh, Killer. Oh, Big Walk looks great. I fucking love it. Okay, I just saw the picture. I'm like, oh my god, it's so cute. You guys had voted for on my Discord a while back the Locust and the Shadowhawk to be in whatchamacallit colors, in Star League colors. So this is gonna be like my Star League base, this Army Green, which is perfect. So I don't think it'll work for salamanders, but I think it'll work for that. But at the same time, I've had a little bit of luck using these as dry brush options or mix options. So I might try to use Green Flame to dry brush details on the salamanders, but I'm not 100% sure yet. It's one of those where it's like I'm doing plans to better my salamanders, make them look better, but I'm not 100% sure because I'm just, you know, I'm still learning. But I'm also, I'm gonna say this, the fact that I'm moving away almost entirely from washes, I'm very kind of proud of. I think washes are great for that pin washing stuff, but I will say, I am so much happier with all the minis I've pin washed comparative to body washing. Body washing isn't bad. I think for my Tyranids it works perfectly, but for like these guys, body washing was not great. I much preferred just pin washing them. Even if it takes longer, I'm much happier with the result, and that makes me a happier painter, you know? Sorry, I went on a little bit of a rant of like what I'm learning and how I'm learning and where I'm learning, because I don't have the opportunity to talk to a lot of normies in the world about how much I learn about painting. Fucking normies. You know what I mean, right? Like, I found a really great mix for this pink as an example with Mephiston red to make it look really beautiful and dark when I was working on my transgender dragon I had put out that I sent to Epic a while back. I was very happy with it. I should check if Epic had gotten the mini yet. I know he mentioned it. I was at a friend's house. I love color mixing, yeah. And using that to provide my glazes and shadows is something I want to do more of. Because I had started by relying on washes, and washes are not bad. I don't think washes are bad at all. I think washes are great, especially if you just want to get some stuff on the table, and you're kind of working for that speed variety, you know what I'm saying? But I don't want to work just for speed. I guess is my point. Like when I do, and I will be opening up commissions soon. When I do commissions, I want to work for like Tabletop Plus or Parade level quality stuff. I don't think I'm at Parade yet. I know Parade's just above Tabletop. And I know that, and I'll be realistic with you, those are all arbitrary fucking rules that don't essentially matter in the long run. Let's be real, right? It's all about whether or not the person values your art, likes your art, and supports your art, rather than being like the most perfect, pristine thing in the world, which some people want the most perfect, pristine thing in the world, and they will pay for it. But for me, it's more along the lines of I want to make sure that I make something I'm proud of, that I think looks good, and I think can be played on the tabletop and presented or put on someone's shelf if they just want it on the shelf. That's what I find to be important in my work. I want to give people the opportunity to play with the toys they buy. Something different? Exactly, yeah. Washes are a technique. I like washes. I like, as an example, when it comes to like, here, I'll give you a great example. I just washed these Tyranids a few days ago. Oh, ads? Alright, I'll say it in a second. Shit, I gotta fix these Tyranids. Like, what the fuck? They really broke. That one broke. French ads. Alright, so, as an example, on these Tyranids, I just did a wash when I was doing the community event a little while ago. I did a wash on the top here, and on the body, and it looks fantastic. I think the wash looks amazing on my Tyranids, and I don't want to pin wash my Tyranids. These guys, I want to full body wash. The technique for washing works on the Tyranids so fucking well because all their bodies have these little nooks and grooves and crannies that make it make sense, right? I love it. But when the wash comes onto here and it makes this metal part look dirty, I hate it. And the thing is, I'm starting to really enjoy Battletech more than Warhammer, so I need to adjust my technique to how I like the look on the mech versus how I like the look on the Tyranid. The money goes directly to me when it comes to Kofi. salamanders for a second too. For salamanders, putting a wash on the gun makes complete sense to me. But a wash over here looks so dirty. To me. That's not to say that it's not dirty, right? That's not to say that doesn't look pretty okay, for especially when my skill was when I was doing this a while back. But like, I look at this, I'm like, that looks very dirty to me. This area here, that shoulder, looks so dirty to me. The gun looks great, actually. I quite like the gun. It's nice. And then so does the wash on the gun. That makes sense to me. But here, I would want to do probably more pin washing, because look at this. There's this area over here I wish I'd been able to get with a full body wash, but because I wasn't able to do that, it's like it all looks mixed. But doing a pin wash here would have made a lot more sense for me. That's how I'm thinking about it for my personal stuff. If I do commissions and people just want a full body wash and a dry brush, that's a different story, right? But when I do my personal stuff, I kind of want to have it so that like I'm able to pin wash or glaze these areas so that the water sets there and you have a very gentle thing rather than it just being so... It looks dirty to me, right? That is kind of the grim dark aesthetic though. Like, that is just the grim dark aesthetic. But yeah. Actually, I don't think I've used my Ko-fi in a long time. I don't even know if that's fucking attached to me. Have I even used my fucking Ko-fi? I got no fucking clue. Oh shit! Wait, what? Drake! Oh shit, it's the 25th. I gotta make fucking calls. Oh shit, I gotta call my fucking father. It's his birthday. But oh my god, Drake, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. 30 bucks via Ko-fi? Thank you. I'm definitely gonna use that for more minis and shit like that. Drake, thank you so much. I do sincerely get it. I really, really do. Thank you so much, Drake. Happy funding? Hobby funding, yeah! Yeah, let me see if I can add that. Let me get the stream alert up, because like I wasn't able to do that. There's an issue connecting to YouTube. That's not what I'm doing. Oh! Apparently there should be an alert. I love seeing you talk. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. You have supported me a lot. With some of this kind of stuff, and I really do appreciate that. It's kind. It's really, really awesome. Alright, let's try that again. At least send a text alert. It did not. I'll fix that in the future. Let's disconnect, respond to commands. Create Twitch clips, time messages, chat gold progress live. God, now I gotta do this real quick. It's gonna bother me if I don't do it. But I do sincerely appreciate Drake. It's gonna go right to fees and funding shit. And I'm grateful for that support, more than you all know, really. There we go, look at that. That's actually kind of cute. That's perfect. Oh, there's text-to-speech? Could do that one day. Oh, there's an animated overlay. Hold on, let's take a look at that one. Let's try this. Ready? Oh, that is cute too. Kind of like that one more, actually. Let's reset that. You know what? No, the other one's nice and simple. I'm the kind of simple kind of guy. Do that one instead. But yeah, Ko-fi comes straight to my account when it comes to PayPal and stuff. So it's literally just right there. Let's try the bottom left and add a green. You know what? I like it going the other way, actually. There we go. One last time. I'm fine. Let's do a little bit of editing, because one last time to test it. Perfect. And that should be all we need. And it's perfectly sized too. It is perfect. Thank you. Again, Drake, thank you very much for the $30 donation. I sincerely cannot thank you enough for that. That is so cool. And so fucking kind. I really do. You have supported me quite a bit with Gunpla, with minis, some of which I still need to do, and paint. But I really do appreciate it. I don't think I can express. Oh, glasses. But yeah, as I was saying, washing is just a technique you can use. It's not a technique I like using on Battletech and smooth minis in general. It's a technique I like using on Tyranids. But not mechs. I do not like using it on mechs. And I do not like using it on Space Marines either. I think certain parts of Space Marines, like the guns, washing works great for the look I'm going for, but it's one of those where it's also like I'm not going to I've never done a Necron as an example, so I don't know what I do for Necron. But you know, it's one of those where it's like I'm gonna make sure that, like, depending on the mini itself, I'll give it a different kind of attention this time. Like my as I said, I enjoy to see you. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. That's always the best vibes. Like I've done a Necron. Now I've not done but like as an example, my Onbu mini, I'm not washing that in any way because it's a big, like, kind of statue mini. It doesn't have a lot of details. I might glaze a few parts, but like I'm not washing it. I'm dry brushing most of it. You guys saw me with that. I'm very proud of that Onbu mini, actually. It's looking really good. Looking really good. But it's just one of those where it's like I'm learning so many new techniques, and I'm not learning from the videos on YouTube anymore. I feel like I've learned what I could from a lot of those, because a lot of them are really good beginner step tutorials. I don't consider myself a beginner anymore. I consider myself more intermediate. Beginner, intermediate. Again, tabletop plus. Again, those are arbitrary kind of sets for like what is skill. Because even tabletop is a fucking different thing. Like, there's a difference between tabletop and then tournament ready. You know what I'm saying? Because tournaments can get really specific about what they want. And I remember this one guy I was watching on YouTube. He was like, so what is tabletop ready? absolute bullshit because tournaments can't fucking agree on what it is. And I'm like, I was laughing my ass off because he's just like, yeah, listen, I get why you want there to be like these little like things of like progress shit, but like let's be real, tournaments don't know what they're talking about half the time. They have this arbitrary rule set for people to come in, and in reality, what tabletop ready is whatever you deem it to be ready. It could be all fucking great and you've just built it and you haven't painted it because it's all about having fun with the game and the minis. That's it. And I'm like, fucking amen, brother. I love that. Fucking amen right there. He goes, I could spend 10 hours painting one mini, or I could just, and then have to wait like 3 months to paint the rest and then go to the tournament. Or I could just use these partially painted minis. They know what the fuck it is. I have the rule book. It's fine. I can still play. There's still the fucking minis. I still spent God knows how much money on it. And I'm like, fucking, you're right, man. You're fucking right, man. But yeah, I still gotta find a way to like kind of describe where my skill set's at. And I think Tabletop Plus is pretty good. But still, it's a lot of fun. If I'm not having fun painting, then I'm doing it wrong. That's kind of how my point of view is. So I will just work for mostly fun. And as I'm repairing this mini, I'm becoming so much more happier with it. I want to seal this mini today so that it doesn't get any more like time-based damage. I'm gonna seal it today. I'm gonna like literally after the stream, I'm gonna go outside, I'm gonna seal it, and I'm never gonna touch it again essentially. Except for cutting it off its base and then doing the base itself, which I'm actually really excited to do. Exactly, you can always have a little bit of a break. The thing is, actually, I want to paint more. It's just the ADHD paralysis prevents me from painting more. But I actually do really want to paint more. If I didn't enjoy my Fire Emblem and my Ace Attorney with my friends so much, it would be just mini painting streams, if I'm being perfectly honest. But I really enjoy hanging out with my friends and playing Fire Emblem and Ace Attorney, so like those are there too. But yeah, this hobby doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't go anywhere. That's a nice part about it. That's a nice part about it. I also got a little bit of gray that I gotta paint over one day. I'm gonna have some more planetary preservation project stuff. Like, I have a whole plan. What I want to do is I want to get a dropship one day. Not now, in the far future. And do that for the planetary preservation project. I also kind of want to get to writing lore on that. Also, I would love it if one day the Lancer tabletop RPG got some mechs, got some minis, or if I could print them out myself, get someone to like 3D print them. Because the Lancer, if you guys haven't, if you guys like mechs, there is a tabletop RPG called Lancer that is really nice and really progressive too. The authors of it are very progressive, and they're quite blatant with it in their rule book. And I really appreciate that quite immensely, actually. But I, what was I saying? Oh yeah, but their mech designs are absolutely gorgeous. They have this one mech called the Lancaster, and it's basically the trucker mech, and I'm like, fuck yeah, let me be a mech trucker, baby. I love this shit. It's so great. It's like there's a let me show this off real quick. You know what? Let's fix that. I'm gonna fix the fucking visor. I know what I want to do for the visor actually now. I actually read a guide on how to do the visors a bit better. We're gonna change these visors a little bit. So we're gonna start with a Cantor blue, and then we're gonna work for a few lighter blues and whites, and I think we're gonna make this look a lot better. That is already looking better, actually. Cantor blue was the right color here. Look at that. That already looks better. You actually don't need a lot. I'm just gonna like... I think your cockpit's right here. Let me get your cards out real quick. Hold on. I gotta get these cards out real quick. Where the fuck is your cockpit, mate? Are you kidding me? Wait, hold on. Your cockpit's down in there? I can't reach that. I don't have a brush that small. Where's your cockpit? What the fuck? Okay, I think your cockpit's this area right here. Okay. But your cockpit is such bullshit, man. I'm trying to figure out where the hell it is. I think what it is. I think this cockpit's right here. I think this cockpit is literally like right under here. So you can't even fucking see it. Like I thought this was the cockpit. No, no, no. It's this area like right here. Under all that. I don't think I can reach. Maybe. Hold on. Let's just have a little fun. Try it. Yeah, I reached it. I can't reach it. Okay, I reached it. It's like the most subtle change. It's like a single line of blue that you're never gonna fucking see. I'll add a little bit of yellow to like fix that up later. Okay. And your cockpit is right here, I'm 90% sure. Yeah, okay, it is. I fucking love that. I love the Rifleman 2C. It looks like Scaramouche. It's so great. Alright, let's fix that up. Also, I've been listening to a lot of Mechanical Frog recently. I mean, not just recently, but a while now. And I love it when he talks about... Oh, yeah. And now there's a small emotional support laser right here at the fucking head. It is so funny to me. I love it. I wish I had a small emotional support laser on my head. I wish I had a small emotional support laser on my head. Just, you know... That'd be great. Guys, do you want a small emotional support laser on your head? Fucking I do. Oh lord. It's so funny. Just casually say, yeah, someone put emotional support laser. I think a little bit more of that yellow color because I did fade it out with dry brush here before. Yeah, we trusted the emotional support laser. No, that attitude he can't be. I wish I had my own emotional support laser. Every once in a while, Mechanical Frog will be like, "Hey, so this mech has a support laser on its arm, which we all know is trying to be the emotional support laser that it wants to be, which is on the head, but it's doing its best, so we could let it pass." And I'm like, "Yeah, fair enough." Yeah, it's already a much better yellow than. Now I'm refilling parts. That looks a lot ready. Emotional support laser. I think out of all the games that I could potentially play when it comes to like tabletop games, BattleTech is probably going to be the one I most likely to play. I don't care to play Warhammer too much. I do kind of know the rules. I've watched a lot of 40k and 40 minutes, especially their narrative campaigns, which are a lot of fun, honestly. I really like them, but I don't care too much about the game itself. I would probably play a little bit more BattleTech if I played these kind of games. But also, I just like painting the mini. More so than playing the games. The only way I have enjoyed rule-wise is Bolt Action, a World War II game from War Games. I will have to take a look at it. World War II game. I've actually, when I was a kid, my father had a lot of World War II models. They never let me touch them, or build them, or paint them. Because he's like, oh no, these are too expensive and all that kind of stuff, right? So I never got to do anything with them. I do kind of like some of the old World War II aesthetic and World War I aesthetic kind of games. Like, I think Valkyria Chronicles is a World War I aesthetic game, if I recall correctly, and I like that game a lot. But that's also a video game, not a tabletop game. But, like, there's a lot of fun to be had there in those themes. I get that some people are not into World War II, but damn, the rules are easy and fun. Yeah, see, that could change the whole thing for me. If the rules are easy and fun, I'll play it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, World War II is just not my thing personally. I definitely would like to try painting some models from that kind of, you know? It's, I feel like it's a different Like every game's kind of have like a different. That needs less yellow, more lead belcher. I also found a really fun mini recently that I want to see if I could get an acquaintance of mine to print out for me. I found an Eagle 1 mini from Helldivers. And it's one of those, and it comes out as like a card you have to cut out, like, you know, like snips and shit like that. I thought that looked really cute, so like one day I'm gonna see if I can get that too. But yeah, World War II. I've played World War II like games, tactical games and stuff. It's as fun as any other game, in my opinion. I think it's all about how the game promotes itself and does itself. So yeah. What were the colors? What were the next colors I need? I needed Techless Blue. Haldor Sky, Techless Blue, and then... there we go. There's also a new edition of Conflict 47. It's a bolt... Oh, I do know about Conflict 47, actually. I've heard about that from a few things. Yeah, I've heard about Conflict 47 before. I've seen some of this stuff. There was actually... Hold on. There was this guy. I don't remember who it was. They did a... It felt like it was World War II factions, right? Because like they had like a Japanese faction, a Russian faction, a German faction, a UK faction, or whatever. And it was all like sci-fi ship based. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it's called. I don't know if that's from the same people. But it looked really fucking cool. So there's like a whole like a Royal Navy kind of deal. In space. I'm like, that's really cool. Oh, fuck you, ads. Drop fleet models? Ooh. That sounds fun. Hey guys, I'm gonna tell you a little secret, just so y'all know. Unless you're a big Twitch streamer with like thousands of people viewing at a time, ads don't fucking help with payment. You get like 10 cents if you're lucky for a 12-hour stream. Just so you guys know. In fact, here, let me pull up my ad revenue so you guys know that. Hey, if you have an ad blocker, that's a-okay. Twitch has been doing this whole thing, right? Where if you have an ad blocker, it says, "Hey, you aren't supporting your streamer. Fuck off. How dare you? You're evil," and shit like that, right? Let me tell you how much I make off ads real quick so you guys know. For ads, I make on October 6th, I made 32 cents in ads. On October 22nd, which is like a few hour streams, I made 10 cents on ads. I have not made any significant number of money in ads. Turbo can actually help out if you want to support your streamers financially. The best way to do so would be either via Turbo or subs, and any private like Ko-fi or that kind of support they have. That is the best way to support a streamer. So when Twitch tries to guilt trip you, ignore that shit. Ignore it. Don't fucking listen to it. Twitch is just a company looking to get your money more than anything else. Yeah, I think the highest amount I made in ads in the past year was $3.45 during my charity stream. $5, excuse me. $3.45 plus $2.99, so let's say $6, right? $6.50. That was during a 36-hour charity stream. If Twitch tries to guilt trip you about having an ad blocker, ignore that shit. $6.50. Oh yeah, I know, right? I know. That's, to be fair, that is a bottle of fucking Why is it saying my live is unstable? That's so fucking weird. Average stream bitrate is too high. Oh shit. There we go. So I have to lower my stream bitrate? How do I do that? Hold on. Isn't this the fun part, guys? Or just kind of like settings, output. Let's go to 550 then. Apparently my bitrate's too high. Yeah, 650. So if you have an ad blocker, don't let Twitch guilt you into thinking you're not supporting your streamers. You being there and sharing their streams and saying how much you love hanging out and enjoying them and all that kind of stuff is so much greater support than that 650. So don't let Twitch tell you otherwise, all right? AKA, welcome to my political part of the stream where it's anti-corporate talk. My corporate overlords who let me stream to you guys. A stretch from Prime. Thank you so much. I'm gonna do that stretch in 1 second, I promise. I didn't say Prime. If you guys don't know, Prime is a new streamer on the block. I'm gonna give myself a stretch. I'll give myself a hydrate too, so I haven't done that bit. War related and only political? Yeah, you can. If you want to talk about something, go for it. Prime is a new streamer on the block. We did some Baldur's Gate with you, which was a lot of fun. Give him some love. And he is also doing StarCraft and Warcraft. So good shit there. Go give him some love. Remember, war games are in no way, shape, and or form political. Wink! In the same way Starship Troopers is in no way, shape, and or form political. Wink! Satire is a literary style. Never heard of satire. Never heard of it. Starship Troopers is just good old America, obviously. Nothing political. Nothing satirical. I don't know StarCraft very well, Prime. So is StarCraft like a satirical thing as well, or is it just kind of like have fun with it? Because I know it was supposed to be like Warhammer originally, right? Like StarCraft was supposed to be like a Warhammer game, which of course is a satire on satire itself, or a commentary at the bare minimum. I don't know if it's satire is the right word for it, but still. Going towards the end, I want to make it clear I hold no opinion on it. They made a war game to be played by around 20 people themed on the January 6th Storm Capital. No, it's not meant as a balanced war game. It's more of an event that uses war games as a platform to talk about the historic event. I find it fascinating as a kind of idea. You know what? That is very fascinating, actually. Depending on who wrote it, which is something I'm going to take a look into that later on, because I want to see who wrote it, why they wrote it, and how they wrote it. I want to see what exactly this game's about, because I'm kind of interested in it. Like, there are people who are going to use that as a platform to say that it is a riot, and it is like that it's a riot, it's commentary, etc. like that. But there's also like a person, people who are going to be like, this is freedom fighting America, and it's fucking bullshit. So I'm curious to see who wrote it, why they wrote it, and how they wrote it. I want to see the context of that art, which I'm very interested in. So I will probably do that in the future. Also, tell me how my stream is looking, because I did change the bitrate a little bit, because my Twitch is saying that my bitrate is way too fucking high, so I lowered it down to about like 5,000, 4,500. Yes, tell me if my stream's looking good, yeah? I find it fascinating. Yeah, scan an article from a War Games Illustrated issue. Send it. Yeah, please DM it to me. I'd appreciate it. There are themes overall, but I wouldn't say it's... Okay, fair enough. Yeah, not everything is going to be a commentary. Some of it's just going to be really cool war game shit. And death and destruction. This actually looks really nice as a cockpit. I'm quite liking that, actually. I think maybe I'll add a little bit more of a lighter blue to the center. Like, I'll go for that Caladian sky blue or whatever. But yeah, the article is also non-political as far as I understood it. Valid. It'll be interesting to see what the artist and the game creator themselves has to say about it. That's what I'm looking into it for. I'll look into it a bit later after stream, obviously. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Drake. But I'm interested to see how it is. I really am. I think wargaming and sci-fi as a whole are ripe ways to express politics. I'm excited to see how that is. Remember, Endor Space Vietnam, baby. Don't forget that. Endor is Space Vietnam. It's wild to say that, but like it is. Like it is. Remember when George Lucas just said that Star Wars was a commentary on the American Empire? Alright, so I gotta wait for that to dry. Let me take a look at this article real quick. Let me see. I scanned it for a friend of mine who holds, no joke, a doctorate in gaming. Nice. Ooh, okay. That's a big fucking map. Oh my god. The Reds are playing the attackers. The rules were designed by Warhammer 40k and Bolt Action author Alessio Cavador, and although they are new to many who take part in the game of Fight of America, wargamers will be familiar with the role dicing. Yeah, alright, fair enough. Second page. They built the capital. Yeah, it's wild. Holy shit. So, after playing Fight for America in Brooklyn, Professor Naomi Clark, head of game design program at New York University, commented this. Generally, games are about fun, but they don't have to be only a pleasure. Any more than a song or a play has to express a purpose. A game can also make a stand or pose questions. Some people call this type of game complicity gaming, while in which players take the role of someone they wouldn't necessarily sympathize with in real life in order to understand their motives or possibly play out a fantasy. They actually have 3D printed versions of the actual rioters too, and law enforcement. Like, this is made to be very accurate. Like, there are 3D printed of the Oath Keepers, QAnon, Priest Guy, the Proud Boys, everything like that. So they actually took real people and made them minis to do this. This is meant as a historical recreation, from what I can understand. All right. In the building, if the red team manages to destroy the building, and they usually do, play switches to a second illuminated board. Okay. So you can just kill Mike Pence in this game. Okay. Things usually get, and quote from the, I mean, that was the whole point of the actual January 6th rioters. They were going in to kill Mike Pence for disobeying Trump and to kill other politicians they did not want. That was the whole point of January 6th. I think what this game is, listen to this. Things usually get quite uncomfortable on the stage as the players nervously look around the room sheepishly and wrestle not only with the appalling question of whether to save or hang Mike Pence, but they should vote for what their chapters would do and what they would do. We're back on the concept of complicity gaming. In the 5 games that have been played, before my visit, the red players voted twice to save the vice president and thrice to hang him. The confetti cannon then fires. Uncle Sam announces the results of the votes, and the players cheers, and then there's silence as everyone looks towards the video screen where they're playing actual footage inside the Capitol building. So this is... Alright. I'm interested in the gamification of US politics. Creator Christopher McElron tells me. We didn't actually set out to create a game about January 6th. We set out to create a space where people will come together across divides to question, engage, and reflect on the state of our democracy. We turned to using game mechanics to explore this topic because the games can do something unexpected. They can open doors to conversations and have friendships with the family or even ourselves. They offer a shared experience, a common language, a way to wrestle difficult questions. This is a very unique art piece. My interpretation of it will be different from others, for sure. But what I'm understanding this interpretation to be and what this game to be, which is, by the way, so fascinating. Thank you, Drake, for sending this to me. I'm going to be sending this to some other people who I think will find this absolutely fascinating. This is, I think, what the guy said. This is gamification of US politics, right? This is something not dissimilar from Starship Troopers. The reaction that a lot of people are having here, and a lot of people had immediately before understanding that it was an art piece, was like the same reaction people had to Starship Troopers, where it was just like, oh my god, how dare they show fascism in this way, and yada yada yada, right? This is a game meant to, as Christopher McElron says, gamify US politics and show what it is, right? It's not about January 6th itself, it's about extremism. It's about the reasons why people do this, how it gets to that point. This is about United States politics dividing the people so greatly that this is the end result, right? So if you're taking a look at gerrymandering as an example, gerrymandered politics have thoroughly led to the divide, or have led to influencing that divide in politics, where you now have people, one, not understanding how they're being represented, and two, how they are being negatively affected by gerrymandering, and how they now feel left out, right? This is a commentary on how we got here, how corporate interest doesn't directly go for it, but like if you apply it to real life, this is basically like what tensions led up to this as a game, right? How did this happen? The tensions of gerrymandering, tensions of corporate interest, the tensions of racist ideologies being applied to politics, about religion influencing politics. This is a commentary about how did it get here? And why is this even a game to start with? This isn't a game about January 6th, which is what Christopher McElron says. This is a game to question and reflect on the state of the democracy, which I find to be fascinating, because you could ask so many questions about this, right? Why are these people rioting? They're rioting because you could look at this very simply, right? Why are these people rioting in January 6th? Is the first question you're going to ask when you're playing this game, right? The answer is easily Donald Trump told them to. But why do these people then believe Donald Trump? Why do these people then work with and essentially worship Donald Trump to do this, right? And then you go further on and you realize that there's lacks of education in various departments that don't allow people to actually get sustainable, sustainable education, sustainable resources to make sure that they're not in poverty, sustainable like situations so that they don't feel like it's a us versus them motive. And then you look at it, it's like, how did Donald Trump convince them? He used an us versus them motivation. You know what I'm saying? He used othering. He used villainization of minorities. And like, I think the best way to put it is, as an example, Donald Trump said, the only reason you people know about transgender people is because I told you 5 years ago. And that's the fucking truth. There wouldn't be as much state-based active hatred against transgender and LGBT individuals. I mean, there still would be, but it wouldn't be as such a focal point if not for Donald Trump actively othering transgender people and making that a Republican point, right? My view and take on it is, what are the motivations behind each and every one of the individuals in this game? What is the state of the democracy itself and how it got to that point? This is a game about January 6th, but it is also a game about what made January 6th happen, is how I feel about it. I don't think it necessarily will open up conversation, unfortunately. It's not one of those that's just very easy to say, hey, that's what we're gonna do. Also, here's another question. The whole point of the game is to hang Mike Pence, who was abiding by the law at the time to confirm Biden, right? That's another layer. The three games that chose to hang Mike Pence chose to go against the Constitution and American law. That was their choice. Why did they go against the Constitution and American law? Why would that be an option? Why would the rioters do that? It's not because, it's because that's what they felt like they needed to do at the time. Obviously, I have a very biased view. But in reality, the only factions playing in this fucking game are extreme right-wing conservatives. The only factions that are canonically in this game are extreme right-wing conservatives and moderate conservatives. Because the United States political system is still generally like moderate. It's not a very, like, even the left, even the people on the left in the United States politics are not leftist. A lot of them can be seen as 1980s Republicans, essentially. Like, Joe Biden is not a leftist. He did go for like some leftist policies, quote unquote, but a lot of his policies are quite conservative comparative to what people are actually asking for. So you have basically a moderate and a right-wing fight happening here, with a moderate police state trying to defend the status quo and a right-wing conservative populist mob mentality trying to disturb the status quo, right? That's what this game is. And it's very interesting because the only factions in here are that moderate police state and that right-wing conservative mob. I find it to be very interesting because you can ask a lot of questions about it. And I think the biggest question to ask about this game, yeah, thank you, Drake. I think the biggest question to ask about this game specifically is, what are the motivations of the factions? And who are the factions? Right? Why this happen? And hey, also a little fun thing about this as well. The only person in this game who is an active character in this game, who in no way, shape, and or form can get harmed,
is Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the only named character in this game that cannot get harmed. That is a commentary in on itself. I mean, this is designed to say, look, Donald Trump instigated this. There is an instigator. Taking away, like, because again, they're saying it's not about January 6th. It is. But they're saying they're not trying to make it specifically about January 6th. They're trying to make it about the state of democracy. Okay, cool. There is an instigator in power, no matter who it is, who will never get harmed by this event. In this case, it's Donald Trump. There are people who maybe you agree or do not agree with, but are standing by the United States laws by going against said power, Mike Pence. And then there are the people trying to destroy the foundation that the instigator is trying to destroy. So the right-wing conservative, QAnon groups, etc. And then there are people trying to preserve that foundation, the police state, right? That's what this game is. It's interesting. I am fascinated by this game. There are probably going to be people who say, because of all the things that people do, yeah. I think there's going to be a lot of people who say different things about it. There are going to be people who are going to say this is a celebration of conservative politicians, of conservative people trying to take back America, and how the police state forced them to live in a horrible world, which they are living in now, mind you. There are people who are going to be like, this is like a satire on conservatives. I think that, oh, ads are here. Let me start painting out. Let me go back to painting, mind you. I don't have to do anything else. Let me go back to painting while I talk about this, and I'll talk about it once the ads are up too. That's a fascinating fucking game. As an art piece, that is fascinating. I like that game a lot. I like that game concept a lot. You have the best timing? Yeah, exactly. That's have the best timing. All right, welcome back. All right, so there are going to be people who take this in a variety of ways. This is going to have a different opinion for every person who plays this game, right? Or sees this game. Some people are going to think that this is a attempted hero story of the Conservative Party, and specifically those QAnon people. Some people are going to think that this is a story mocking them. I think that this is, like the creator said, a commentary on how we got here. Like, it's ridiculous. It's one of those where it's like, the existence of this game itself is a level of ridiculousness that I don't think the common player will be able to understand. Right? Like, think about it like this. We have games where the Death Star 2, the capital of the Empire, whatever, is under attack, and that itself is so detached from us, right? But we have a clear good and a clear bad guy. The Empire being the bad guy, the rebels being the good guy. But now when you apply that same thing to real life, you have a different question. You have, how did this happen? There isn't a quote unquote clear good guy or clear bad guy, because it's a little more complex than that. There are methods, meanings, and manipulations that have caused this to happen. Don't get me wrong. The conservative beliefs right now are horrific. And I do not believe socially they've ever been able to sincerely protect the people they want to protect, and they have been actively going to protect billionaires more so in any way, shape, and form than human beings who live in their districts. But as a game, this is commenting on how the people, not the politicians, because again, Donald Trump got off scot-free, how the people are being manipulated, how the people are being affected, and how the tensions rise for them to do it. 100 more years ago, why not take reasonable conversations? Exactly. I think this is a very fascinating game. Listen, conservatives and conservative mindsets will not get any pity from me. I personally think that when, as an example, conservative parties and states and what have you do get horribly affected by tariffs that they voted for, I will not feel pity for them. I will vote to get those tariffs off because, like, I don't believe they should suffer. I will not feel pity for them. You know what I'm saying? No one deserves to suffer, but I will not feel pity for someone who does get hurt by their own stupidity. I will make sure that they are treated afterwards. You know, they deserve free education and free healthcare as much as I do, as much as anyone else does, because they are a fucking human being. Everyone's a fucking human being. But if you voted for a policy that hurts you, I can't feel pity for you. I will vote for policies that help you. That's about it. Because my goal is to vote for policies that help everyone. Or the greater amount of people, not billionaires. You know? I don't think billionaires need more aid. No, 100%. You 100% should. You 100% should. Do not buy from the US. Fucking boycott it. It sounds horrible. Boycott the United States. It's the only way you're gonna get a fucking message through is through money. The only way you get a message through sometimes is money. Like these protests, like the No Kings protests, are fantastic. But the long term is going to be the money. The long term effects is going to be money. That's how you make real change. You stop paying. They don't care how many people die, they care how much is in their wallets. You cut them off from what they really want. I do not blame you. There's the fun politics of the day. Mind you, I did not expect to get that deep into politics, so I wasn't very eloquent with it. But, yeah. I think it's a very interesting game. I think it's going to ask a lot of very interesting questions. And I think a lot of people will miss the fact that it is supposed to ask the questions of how we got there. Which are not hard to answer, but require you to realize that no matter who you are, you have in some way, shape, and form been manipulated or propagandized, myself included, into an us versus them mentality. there are people in my life who will never know other people in my life because I do not trust them with those people. And there are people who I will not trust with most of my social or like. I remember literally just deleting some of my Botanist Cool social medias because I knew people who I knew were transphobic, racist, etc. who followed them. And I go, I'm not gonna let these people come into my community and hurt my community by accident. I deleted those social medias entirely. I may have lost, and I've lost a lot of followers too. When I post trans pride stuff and what have you, I lose followers. I'm like, that's fine by fucking me. But there is obviously a lot of othering, and there will be for a very long time. The question is, how do we get people turn their biases away? There is the paradox of the intolerance of the intolerant. The intolerance of intolerant, right? Intolerance of intolerance. Which is, you have to be intolerant of those who are intolerant. Therefore, you can never truly be tolerant, right? It is a paradox that you just kind of have to live by and realize, yeah. So how do you... The question then comes to be, like, how do you manage that, right? There's only one kind of people we shall hate, and the people who stand at the escalators and the stairs. Yeah, exactly! People who walk too slow on the streets. No, I'm kidding. It's just one of those where it's like, I think this game is fascinating. I think this game is absolutely fucking fascinating. I think people will take it in a million different ways. I think my way of understanding it is going to change even as I learn more about it. But I definitely think that it is all about asking about how we got here. And asking how do we fucking prevent that. Like, some people truly believe the Civil War was about states' rights. And that's it. Not that it was a states' rights to slaves, just states' rights vaguely. Don't get me wrong, the nuance of Abraham Lincoln actively trying to stop slavery was also an economic policy to have the South become more competitive to the North. It wasn't purely a humanitarian thing. But it's interesting. On one hand, we don't get the QAnon models. On the other hand, damn, I feel good we don't get them. But yeah, it's one of those where it's like there's a lot of ways to dissect it, and I think opinions will change over time too. Not necessarily for good, not necessarily for bad, just because they will change, and that's how fucking humanity is. But again, I do find it funny that the only factions in that game are far-right extremists willing to actively kill, and then moderate police force, and a moderate police state that just wants to keep the status quo that actively kills too. That I find to be very interesting. Again, there's not a single liberal faction in there. Kind of interesting. You could say that there's implied liberals because of the capital, and that, you know, people like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in there. But the only active players that are in this game are far-right extremists who are willing to kill, and a police state who's willing to kill. I think that's a very interesting commentary on itself. Because remember, that day, it was still a Trump presidency. It was still a Trump government during January 6th. That was still a government run by conservatives. As is the one that's closed today, which has a majority conservative that is currently shutting down the government because they want to protect Epstein files, people. And no other fucking reason. Literally, the government's only closed because Mike Johnson doesn't want the Epstein files to get out. That's literally fucking evil. This is why I don't get a lot of views. I talk politics on my stream every once in a while. And suddenly, oh no, my videos don't get views. In World War II, there was a battle, the Battle of the Castle Itter, which is where the strangest alliance in the war happened. 200 SS soldiers attacked a castle defended by French prisoners, US soldiers, and German soldiers. Huh? Really? So the SS soldiers fought against other German soldiers, or were these like rebel German soldiers? I do not know this battle or people about it, so like I am interested in it for sure. Like I know not everyone in Germany was pro Adolf Hitler, but like I don't know exactly how that played out in terms of German rebels and militia and stuff. That is a wild alliance, though. Interesting, though. I'm curious why. They were disenfranchised with the whole German war effort, and they're being on the Eastern Front, so their commanding officer organized them together with American soldiers, a freeing of the French prisoners, which then ended in the battle. Oh, okay. Very interesting. I made a song about it. I learned about it. Interesting. I learned about some niche World War II facts, or like, I don't remember exactly what it was, but I do know that, like, as an example, there was a tank in Valkyria Chronicles called like the Edelweiss tank or something, and they used like the flower as like a symbol for the troop or whatever, and that was based off of real troop in World War II who were like anti-Nazis. But I don't know much more about that than that. So like, I can't say much more about that. I don't remember much more. That's all I really knew. Like, I knew like Valkyria Chronicles kind of took a bit from that. Just like a little bit of niche history. National flower of Switzerland. All right. I did not know that. All right, I think you're done. I got the face done pretty well. Very happy with that actually right here. I'm very happy with this too. And this is it. I might give a little bit of like a gray dry brush here maybe. That's it. That great dry brush actually. Give me a second. Actually, yeah, give me a second. Alright, so which grade am I gonna use? Probably standard Mechanist. I know we all know about World War II was a long time ago, but ended just 80 years ago. So yeah, it's just fucking 80 years. It's not a long time ago. It's very recent, in my opinion. There are people who, you know, we're still living now. There are still veterans around from that time. No? It's not as ancient as people like to imply it is. And those viewpoints have not just disappeared into the aether either. People in fucking America and around the world too. I know Greece had to like entirely kick out 16 people from their parliament because they were just literally Nazis. People still hold those beliefs. It's not ancient. It's not fucking gone from the world. You know? It's just 80 years. That's it. That's not a long time ago. Yeah, yeah. To be fair, Japan has a lot of World War II commentary, which occasionally does avoid the fact that they did horrific things in World War II too, and just focuses on the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which, I mean, fair, but also conveniently forgetting a few things there, Japan. The United States does the same thing. The United States conveniently forgot about all the internment camps they have whenever they talk about World War II. Oops. Japanese internment camps and concentration camps. We forgot about that here in the United States. Japan kind of forgot about a few things too when they do World War II commentary in their media. So does America. America forgets a lot. The fact that George Takei was in a fucking internment camp. Yeah. The fact that George Takei, fucking Sulu there, was in a fucking concentration camp. Actors we know and love today were in concentration camps. World War II is not a distant memory. It is today still. People who pretend World War II is a distant memory want you to forget. I went to Murakami, Japanese botanical garden in Central Florida. They had this horrifying, but at the same time very well needed exhibit on the Japanese internment camps. Back in 2016, I think it was. The only museum I really saw with that kind of information. I'm so glad I got to go to that museum at that time. I got to learn. Yeah, let's take a look. Yeah. Yeah. I know a lot of people from the UK are also very much like not happy with that. And it's a shame, but the UK will have to deal with that in its own way. And unfortunately, the EU will have to deal with that as well. It's a damn fucking shame. Alright. So, I'm gonna clean up. And I'm gonna be right back. So I'll see you guys in a second. We need to work out on a swole humanity united in protein shakes brought together by the suffering of cardio. Oh my god. Alright. I'm literally gonna go seal these guys after I'm done with this. So I'm gonna paint a little S on them for the sealing. That's what I always do. My habit to always know which ones I've sealed before basing. I paint a little S on the bottom. So I'm gonna literally go seal them after this. Like, I put an S for sealed essentially, right? So these 3 are gonna be sealed. I'm happy with them. They're gonna be sealed literally in a few moments. So here's that first one. Trans Pride Highlander 2C. Here's the Intersex Pride Rifleman 2C. I think he's cool. Very proud of him. And the Kraken non-binary Pride. The one I'm actually most self-conscious about is the transgender 2C Highlander. It's the one that I feel like I've kind of mucked up the most, if I'm being perfectly honest, but I'm very happy with it still. I'm very happy with all these guys. I think that I did good changing the color of their windows as well. I think they look great comparative to what I've done before. I think these are all steps up from my previous works as well. I think I've done really good on them. Alright, I'm proud of these guys. I'm gonna seal them literally in like 10 minutes. If you're watching this as a VOD on YouTube, thank you very much. I hope you had a good one. Stay safe, Botanist Cool, YouTube. We'll see you soon. Bye, YouTube.